I don't know if you all remember my last video and Doors videos. It seems like Doors is declining, and also I don't know how to say their name, but Ghostly Wowzers said that the Hotel Plus update was the last major update for the hotel, according to the Doors wiki. However, the wiki also said that this was disproved by the content update. Another thing to mention is that I played Doors ever since August 25th or 26th, 2022. A fun fact, the backrooms were so popular before Doors, but this is not a backrooms video. First, Doors released on August 10th. I also heard that it was not a good time to release a Roblox game. It was buggy, they say. No one was playing their game. You couldn't search for Doors, apparently, and for a long time. People were waiting, and on January 28th or 29th, 2023, after my birthday, January 27th, the Doors released the Hotel Plus update, and I still remember the hype for the Hotel Plus update. Then, for a very long time, on August 1st, 2023, they released Super Hard Mode. I don't want to say everything, but they added Jeff the Killer. I think I remember this. I know who Jeff the Killer is. He's scary. I don't know if I want to show you. And then I stopped playing Doors. I don't know when. I think somewhere in May or June 2023. And then Doors developers released the modifiers update in August 26th, 2023 for the game's 1-year anniversary, and for a long time, in March 15th, 2024, they released the Hunt update, and then the backdoor update in March 20th. And then Retro Mode, which released on the same day as Science Apocalypse 1 April Fool's event, which made the Doors look like old Roblox, and for a long time the Mines released. Floor 2 was so hyped too, but there was so much drama, apparently, which is probably why I never heard the Mines released indoors. Another thing to say is that I thought the Mines were gonna be like Half-Life 3, where it never releases, and then for a long time released the Haunt and Trick or Treat event, which sucks I didn't get to play after I quit. And then for a week or two released the content update. This introduced the admin panel, etc. Probably the best update in my opinion, since there are admin commands now legal. Developers should have released the admin panel a long time ago. And then I returned to Doors in very late 2024 or January 2025. I finally beat Doors on January 11th or January 12th, 2025, which I was so happy. I beat it with my brother, and Ambush also appeared first, then Rush. He appeared at door 13, and after 2 years I was so surprised that we could go outside now. And the Mines after years. I am ashamed that I stopped playing Doors. After I returned. They released the April Fools 2025 ranked mode, and they also released the outdoors. I am so ashamed I left doors in 2023. Because I wanted to develop Science Apocalypse, and I also thought that doors was way too scary for me. Actually, I wasn't very young at that time. I also died a lot on Seek Chase and Figure Library, Door 50. It sucks I didn't get Rock Bottom before Hotel Plus, 2022. Rock Bottom, you beat it before the Hotel Plus update. Yeah. They also released the outdoors. I was waiting so long. I made a video about that too. I also uploaded a old doors video that I didn't upload back then. You can watch my full video in my playlist. Unfortunately, I will have to get used to me not playing doors for a very long time. They should release Hotel Plus modifier, pre-nerfed mines modifier, hunt update modifier, and modifiers update modifier. Because I didn't get to play it back then, and unfortunately, changing the date on your calendar on your computer or phone will not bring you back to a old time. For example, old doors, you can't travel back time, unfortunately, which means when I change the calendar to May 2023, I won't come back. Yeah, that's it's sad that Adrian also didn't get to see the rooms, also didn't get to complete door 100, the greenhouse, and all of the old things. Adrian didn't get to complete door 50. I mean, like, people say that Hotel Minus before Hotel Plus doors was very much easier. Well, like, door 100 figure would just go. Adrian didn't know this because he didn't get to go to door 100, but figure used to jump down and go back to door 99 and check all the closets for players and beds, all the hiding spots, and he returned to door 98. And he never came back unless you opened the door and started the breaker puzzle. Why did Hadrian never see this? And also, what is also important? Well, technically the library wasn't that easy back then. For example, the library figure used to detect your heart even if you were crouching near it. However, figure didn't hear anything like drawers opening or items, which is interesting. And another thing to say is that also they changed the library, which I think it's good, and I also think it's good that figure no longer hears your heartbeat when you're close to it. And also, figure used to walk like a T. Old figure. Why would you walk like a T, or I don't know. You used to walk like a T figure. Letter T. T-pose figure. Why was he walking like that? And now he looks real. And also, I also remember the old bookshelves and mini bookshelves. These books on them didn't look real. They were just rectangles with textures on them. Now they look like 3D books. And also the library had the same books with no moon, and they didn't glow, and they instead make the sound, the item shimmer sound. And another thing I remember is how infamous the crucifix was back then. Before the Hotel Plus update, I remember people were talking about like the crucifix and the skeleton key were like, oh, these are secret items, will they be added? And it sucks that Adrian didn't get to use the crucifix and skeleton key. And another thing to say is that skeleton key used to break. However, it now has 5 uses like the OG skeleton key. And another thing to say is that I always wondered what the badge I hate you in Doors was. And now I know that the badge I hate you in Doors is when you crucify Screech, and I wondered how did it get past the Roblox? How did it get past Roblox's moderation? Because if you type in the chat I hate you, it will be hashtagged, so I don't know how the badge got that. I don't know. And I still remember when Doors released soundtracks on YouTube in February 4th, 2023. And what is a very interesting coincidence is that Science Apocalypse looks like Door 100 and the Foundation doors, and yeah, it's interesting why Door 100, the Foundation, and other or pressure by developers, you know who made pressure. It's interesting that Doors, Room 100, Foundation, and Pressure look like Science Apocalypse, even though some of these games did not exist. For example, the Foundation did not exist before 2025, I'm pretty sure, and Pressure did not exist before 2024, and Door 100 existed, well, when I was creating Science Apocalypse, but I didn't get to see it. I don't know what to say now.